from this scenario. I am a foreign language student with an emphasis on English. Today I will explain general information about the practical component of the English course acquisition and learning of foreign languages. Introduction. English learning is based on educational theories that explain how people acquire a second language. Approaches such as behaviorism, cognitivism, constructivism, and creationist proposals guide teachers in planning lessons that combine practice, comprehension, and active participation. Applying these theories allows for the creation of motivating activities, effective feedback, and an environment that reduces anxiety, thus facilitating the development of the four skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing in English. Theory Analysis Report. Report title: Allow oral participation in the practice of pronunciation of ED and analysis from the theories of English learning. Selected educational problem: anxiety and lack of confidence in students when speaking English. In pronunciation practice sessions, it's common for beginning students to experience nervousness when producing new sounds. In this case, the three variants of the ED ending T, D, ID. Even if the teacher encouraged participations, some students might fear making mistakes, which translates into pausing, lowering their voice, or avoiding repeating words aloud. Justification. During a virtual A2 English sessions, interaction is conducted via video conference. This online format can increase insecurity because students feel exposed in front of the camera or microphone. They need to pronounce correctly in real time, while the group listens increases the pressure. Cultural factors, for example, the phonetics of Spanish and the fear of being judged, reinforce this anxiety. Key theories relevant to the select problem: behaviorism, creationist monitor model, sociocultural theory. Theory behaviorism. Key concepts: learning occurs through encouragement, feedback, and reinforcement. Repetition and practice build correct habits. This is important because guide practice with positive feedback helps reduce insecurity and consolidate pronunciation. Instructional implications: use repetitive practice, pronunciation exercise, and positive reinforcement to reduce anxiety and strengthen good habits. Monitor model by Stephen Krashen distinguishes between acquisition, natural, and learning formal, comprehensible input, and reducing the after filter. Anxiety, low self-esteem, lack of motivation are key to improving communication. This is important because anxiety is precisely a factor that raises the effective filter, blocking oral production. Instructional implications: provide comprehensible language in a relaxed environment that lowers the emotional filter, encouraging spontaneous oral production. Sociocultural theory. Key concepts: learning is built on social interaction, support by the zone of proximal development, and teacher guidance. This is important because collaborative board and teacher guidance help students gain confidence in communicative context. Instructional implications. Designs activities in pairs of groups with teacher support to increase confidence and communicative interaction. Application to an observed context. A virtual session English aid to how pronounce the ed sound for Debbie Mauricio Tovar and Sandra Aguirre. Description of the observed virtual session. The teacher begins with a bilingual approach and an icebreaker to activate knowledge. He explains that the class focuses on the pronunciation of the ed ending in irregular verbs and guides a practice sessions by exaggerating the sounds to differentiate them. He then suggests a chat game to classify verbs by pronunciation and a quiz to complete and pronounce words, providing constant feedback. Finally, he closes with positive reinforcement and assigns an activity with a biography to continue practicing the different forms of ed. Application of theory in the teaching learning interaction. Theory behaviorism. Application in the observed session. The teacher explains the main topic and allows students to interact to reinforce pronunciation and positively reinforce the participants' efforts. The teacher uses repetitive practice with pronunciation exercise and positive reinforcement. Model creation. The teacher uses a bilingual approach to enable students to understand the activities to be carried out during class, thus fostering a relaxed atmosphere and encouraging participation during exercise. Sociocultural theory. The teacher begins the class with an icebreaker activity to encourage collaborative work and interaction. The teacher encourages students to participate by pronouncing the different forms of the ed ending through repetition activities and pronunciation reinforcement. The teacher designs an activity to reinforce understanding of the previous explanation through an interactive word matching game and or a quiz of words relate to the topic began explaining. Problematization summary for presentation. Lack of confidence speaking English. Most students avoided activating their microphones and preferred to type in the chat. Who and when? Most participants, especially during pronunciation exercise for regular ed verbs. Impact of learning. Without oral practice, the correct pronunciation of ed is not consolidated even when students know the rules. Probable causes: anxiety or shyness when speaking in public, virtual environment that reduces engagement, microphones, cameras off, little prior practice, and low confidence in pronunciation. Theoretical explanation: Krashen affective filter, anxiety blocks language reception and production. Vygotsky, sociocultural, less interaction, less scaffolding and collaborative learning. Communicative approach. The absence of oral production limits communicative competence. Conclusions and reflections. Summary. Learning theories help identify causes of low participation and plan motivational strategies. The three theories, behaviorism, crashing, sociocultural, complement each other to guide the lesson and promote participation. Positive. Teacher creativity and pronunciation practice activities. Improvement. Allow students oral participation. Suggestions at games or mini dialogues to encourage oral practice based on sociocultural theory. Answer step 5. Innovative activity. Title, pronounce, and play. Speaking without fear. The activity aims to reduce anxiety and increase confidence in pronouncing regular past tense verbs. In a virtual class, students practice the ID endings TDID through Kahoot game. They record their voices using Speak Elsa or Vocaroo and share their audio on Padlet to receive positive feedback. Objective to improve pronunciation and confidence when speak English in a collaborative virtual environment. Digital tools, Kahoot, interactive game, Elsa Speak, Vocaroo pronunciation practice, Padlet collaborative wall for sharing recordings. Impact assessment. A formative assessment will be conducted observing progress in pronunciation and confidence. Students will self-assess and receive feedback from the teacher and their peers. The impact will be reflected in improved participation and a reduction in fear of speaking. Thank you so much.